Have you met formally with the Dallas Cowboys yet?
I did.
How was that meeting?
I love that meeting.
Well, anything stand out from it?
Can't talk about it, but I love that meeting.
Pretty good. They kind of like showed a lot of plays up, kind of like critiqued some and showed some good plays too. I think it went really well. And it was a great meeting overall.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Cowboys fans, just got some interesting news revealed to us out of the NFL Draft Combine by way of the formal interviews. Now, we just saw a couple of the players preceding the start of today's show, but now we're going to go down the list of players that we know already have either had formal interviews with the Dallas Cowboys or are scheduled to have them. And the list of players, it is very, very clear what the Cowboys are prioritizing early in this year's NFL draft. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. But first, since we talk about the draft, let's get into today's sponsor. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. Speaking of the NFL draft, you can use BetUS to bet on who will be taken #1 overall in this year's NFL draft, with the current betting favorite being Cam Ward, the quarterback out of Miami. Be sure to use promo code YouTube150 to get 150% back on your first time deposit bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. And remember, please bet responsibly. Appreciate BetUS for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into today's show. The first name we're going to talk about the Cowboys have interviewed at the NFL Draft Combine is going to be Oklahoma linebacker Danny Stutsman, who has met with the Cowboys. He keeps in contact with Cowboys left tackle Tyler Guyton, and if Stutzman is in the conversation in Dallas, according to David Moore, it would be in day 3, which I got to say this. Danny Stutsman on day 3 would be an absolute banger of a pick, because if you're not familiar with this kid, he's a high character guy, great leadership qualities, which is something you really need in the Dallas Cowboys locker room, especially by way of young guys. Can never get enough of high character, high intensity guys in the locker room, and Danny Stutsman is one of those types of guys. He's a tackling machine out of Oklahoma. He's essentially, if you're going to teach a kid to be a linebacker, that kid may not have any athletic ability, he may not have any God-given talent, but if you're going to teach someone how to play the position of linebacker and be a consistent, reliable linebacker back there that's not afraid to put his face mask in them gaps, tackle when he needs to tackle, is an absolute tackling machine, is great in coverage as a linebacker. He's going to give you his all every time he's out there on the field. Look no further than a Danny Stutsman out of Oklahoma. This to me would be a great pickup on a day 3. Just keep an ear and eye on the rest of these guys that's on this formal interview list that's been confirmed so far. Now, obviously, as we get more of these guys confirmed, I'm going to drop more shows, because this one right here, I just felt like we already got enough to see, like, yeah, this is a huge priority for the Cowboys this offseason as it pertains to the NFL draft. If anything else interesting or noteworthy comes out, then obviously we'll talk about that on another show. So again, be sure to subscribe, help us get to that 30K, man. But the next name we're going to talk about is Florida linebacker Shemar James. Has also had a formal interview with the Dallas Cowboys. He said his family grew up Cowboys fans, and he enjoyed bouncing knowledge off the Dallas coaches. This is reported from Nick Harris from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. We also have Clemson linebacker Barrett Carter, who had a formal meeting with the Dallas Cowboys this week at the NFL Combine. Again, another linebacker. That's 3 linebackers right there. Next up, we got Texas defensive tackle Alfred Collins, a really good pickup. I would love this pickup if the Cowboys were to make this particular pick in the draft. I'm going to dive into his film a little bit more as well. And a lot of these guys that they're doing formal interviews with, those are the guys I'm focusing on giving you guys film study for, because I don't want to just be throwing all these random ass college players at y'all, man. That to me just doesn't make any sense. If they're not actually in play for the Cowboys, there's no point in talking about them and throwing film at you just for the sake of throwing film at you. These formal interviews and guys that we know are going to do official 30 visits and stuff like that, we're absolutely going to jump into some tape on these guys so we can see exactly what we're going to be getting from them. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see that, man. I'm telling you. All right, obviously we talked about Oklahoma linebacker Danny Stutsman. We have UCLA linebacker Carson Schwesinger had a formal interview with the Dallas Cowboys this week at NFL Combine. We have Oregon linebacker Jeffrey Bassa had a formal interview with the Dallas Cowboys this week at NFL Combine. Again, how many linebackers have I listed already? Okay, thank you. Georgia edge Mykel Williams says he's formally met with the Dallas Cowboys and he's one of the guys I actually showed you a clip of to start the show off. Mykel Williams, to me, this right here would be a hell of a pickup, man. And to me, if they draft a guy like this, this lets me know that they're planning on letting DeMarcus Lawrence go. Looking at guys like a Mykel Williams, a Princely Umanmielan, or however the hell you say his last name, a Jordan Burch. Looking at those three guys right there lets me know that they're probably moving on from a DeMarcus Lawrence. A guy like a Mykel Williams, strong kid, great pass rushing kid, high motor. I think that you can get a lot out of a guy like this. And just overall, if you're looking at his tape, man, he's impressive. He does a damn good job of staying balanced. You don't see him getting knocked off balance a lot. He holds his ground. A lot of the time, he gains some ground on the offensive lineman. Even if he doesn't get to the quarterback on that initial pursuit, you'll see him giving second and third efforts. So I really like a Mykel Williams, just based off of what I've been able to see briefly on the film that I have seen of his. Princely, I'm just gonna call dude Princely, same thing. Princely and Jordan Burch, to me, would both kind of take up that role that DeMarcus Lawrence has taken up, and them kind of having focus on these type of defensive ends lets me know that, yeah, D-Law likely will not be back, especially since you have Marshawn Kneeland out there already. Sam Williams should be coming back. Are they going to re-sign a Chauncey Golston? We don't know. But we do know that they have an emphasis on linebackers, defensive ends in this year's NFL Combine as far as the formal interviews go. They've already done 10+ interviews with guys in those position groups, so that kind of lets you know where their focus is as a team, like what they're really looking at as a team. And what that lets us know as fans is what positions they're looking to replace via draft and what positions they may need to replace via NFL free agency. If they're looking at a guy like an Alfred Collins, the defensive tackle out of a Texas, or a Kenneth Grant, who's a very, very interesting name for the Dallas Cowboys to be doing an interview with. Another standout defensive tackle, yes, again from Michigan, but this time is not a guy that just likes to hit people. I think Kenneth Grant is a real football player. His quote here as a defensive tackle: "I pride myself in stopping the run first." A guy who could play that one tech for you. So Kenneth Grant, another big body name the Cowboys are interviewing, and that to me is the theme of these interviews so far. If you just look across the board at all these interviews, they're big body athletes. You don't see them going for like the hybrid built athletes anymore, man. I think it's very clear what this staff wants to do. They want to get bigger, they want to get faster, they want to get stronger, they want to get more vicious, and they want to grind you down. And they're trying to look at guys who can fit that profile and satisfy that type of play style via body type, because that's where it starts to me. You can't be a grinded out, physical, hard-nosed football team and you have a bunch of light in the ass dudes on the line out there. So I love that they're going after these bigger body guys, the Jordan Burches of the world, super strong guy, uses that straight arm to kind of push a lineman back and then rip and pull. I love those type of dudes, man, because those are the kind of guys that honestly can really help you stop the run. Bigger bodies on that line. It shrinks the gaps for the running backs to run through a little bit. You got guys that are going to be strong and able to kind of hold their own weight, bro. They're going to be able to hold their own weight. And hopefully, if we get some guys out here like a Mykel Williams or a Kenneth Grant or any of these other guys, hopefully get some real big bodies on the D-line, Micah won't have to face all those double and triple teams the Cowboys fans seem a little talking about now. I actually like damn near all of these names I just saw. I really like all of these guys. I don't have an issue with any of these guys. And some of these guys I really, really like. And those are some of the guys that I really want on this team. A Mykel Williams or a Princely, a Umanmielan or a Danny Stutsman. Some of those guys, I think they could help the Cowboys like immediately. I think those guys could come in and immediately be impacts on the Dallas Cowboys. So that's the news from the first round of interviews that we have confirmation on from the Dallas Cowboys at the NFL Draft Combine. So again, be sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be updating you guys throughout the day. It's not just going to be one video. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 videos per day, especially during busy periods in the off season, so I can make sure you guys are staying updated to the T. So that's even more reason to subscribe, bruh. But either way, how about them Cowboys?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Woo, oh, shut up, my boy, shut up.